Action!
Hello, you join me, your host, Sarah Chausma, on a solemn day, the final CTE live show.
And I'm your co-host, Sawyer Ensign McDermott. You may recognize me, but I encourage you not to.
Could you give me a moment to mourn? You know how many days I've hosted this show for? I need at least one short film to process.
Well, you are in luck because, boy, do we have a series of short films to watch, starting with one from our very own Andrew Sayers.
Sayers, over here!
Oh, hello there.
Sayers, do you have anything to say for the camera?
I want to talk to you about SEATech, a place where you can take your technical and creative skills and expand to new horizons.
That was amazing!
Thank you. But I'll tell you what, if you scan this QR code, you can secure your spot at SEATech.
Ah! That was fantastic!
Yes, it was. Sayers out.
It just can't be over.
Wow, that sure was a video. Sarah, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just get on with it.
Okay, well, next we would have had another instructional video by me, but it was deemed too disturbing for the normies of the audience, and that's been relegated to the after credits. I mean, my last one was fine for before the credits.
No, it wasn't. And no one's forgiven you for that lighting tutorial. You better hope that those who stay for the special video after the credits don't sue us over nightmares.
Why did you shout, special video after the credits? It's going to play after the credits whether or not people choose to stay and watch it.
Wait, I'm getting some important news. Sawyer, what the director's asking, what did you do with that $10 he gave you?
Well, everyone's always talking about how many gumballs you can buy with a $10 bill, but no one ever asked, how can I use this as an ingredient in a marinade?
Okay.
Pretty well. Goes good with salsa.
Salsa. That's an interesting one.
Mm.
Have you ever had like ketchup, salsa, mustard, mayo?
Ash ketchup salsa? Like, is that Pokemon themed?
No.
So is Nintendo. Well, let's discuss this nevermore.
Yeah, you are, I don't even know how to describe you, Sawyer. Anyway, we have an important interview coming up.
I'm so excited. Take it away!
I'm Chloe Craven, and I'm here with a special guest. His name is Robert Foster. So, Mr. Foster, what do you do for a living?
I am the Director of Facilities and Operations for Walla Walla Public Schools.
I have some questions for you. What inspired you to go into this job?
That's a great question, Chloe. Well, I come from a long line of educators. My mother was an educator. My mother-in-law was an educator, and my wife is a current educator. I also have a 21-year-old daughter who's finishing at WSU in the education program to be an elementary teacher. So education is important to me. I also grew up in the trades. My dad was a carpenter, and when I started my career, I was a carpenter and had a construction business. And then in the Albany-Corvallis area of Oregon. And then in '06, my wife and I decided to relocate our family to North Bend. And I got a job at the North Shore School District as a construction manager and built schools and did improvements. And then that worked into management, and I became the director at North Shore. And then I spent 3 years at the Lake Washington School District in a similar role. Then my wife came over here and was the principal at Edison for a couple of years. And I drove back and forth on the weekends. And then this position came open. I applied, interviewed, and got it.
Wow, that's actually very interesting. Say, here's a question. Since your job is so important, how do you balance your home life with your work professional life?
That's another good question. That can be a challenge sometimes. I generally work 6 to 6, wow. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But in that, right now, all our 3 children are raised and out of the house, so I'm able to balance that out. And, you know, there's some flexibility during the day. And I like to visit the schools and see things firsthand. So, and I, you know, have weekends to do things. Our middle son and his family, we have a granddaughter in Richland, so it's convenient to having them close. I get to see them once a week.
Wow. As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an airplane pilot.
Now here's one that I like to ask. What is your favorite moment from this job?
There's a lot of good moments. I would say graduation and recognitions from the graduation last year at Walla High, after bringing that back after being away from the Commons to the Lincoln and opportunity being at the fairgrounds. Pioneers was in their new gym space, and Garrison's out at the fairgrounds as well. So seeing the kids get recognized for their accomplishments is fulfilling.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But also, how do you encourage the youth in the community?
Well, I think in my role, I provide a safe, inviting environment for student learning. So I always tell my staff that our job as support services is to remove barriers for student learning. So that student-teacher connections is important, and if people don't feel safe, comfortable, and proud of their environment, then things can get in the way of student learning.
This might be one that I am afraid to ask. What is your biggest life regret so far?
Well, I don't have many regrets. I think maybe not moving here sooner. My wife and I love the Walla Walla community.
What do you hope for the future?
I hope that we continue on a path of improving our schools and improving instruction. And I also hope that the state funding model finds a way to make all that happen.
And might be the last question. What is something that most people don't know about you?
Most people don't know. Well, my wife and I are working on our 5th decade of being married.
That is very interesting.
So we got married in the late 80s, and so this is our 5th decade.
And last question. If you could change one thing from the past, what would it be?
I think that I didn't go fishing more often.
Maybe that's what we have time for today. So let's take it back to our main peoples.
That was truly enlightening. I can't wait to see what we all do with that information.
Yeah, we certainly all can use that to our advantage. Anyways, look at this cool video for a minute. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Next up, we have a stop motion video from one of our second years. Kyrie, cut to the clip.
There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy.
I'll never join you!
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough! He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
I always win. Anyway, that changed my entire outlook on life.
That reaffirmed my beliefs about clay in the modern era.
Oh, why?
Well, we only have one more video to go, and it's after credits, so I'm leaving before the people of the world can come to destroy me for my video editing decisions.
Wait, no, get back here. Security, stop him. He's gonna escape the judgment of the audience after the credits.
You'll never catch me alive! Ah, who put this net here?
Dude, well, that seems like all the time we have for today. Get back over.
Thanks for dropping by!
Yeah, don't forget your lights.
And don't forget your cameras!
Cause we're rolling out. Not that way.
Oh.
Hang on. Cut.
Three, 0, Foxtrot, Papa, Sierra. Wrong. 6, 0, Foxtrot, Papa, Sierra. Slow down. 1, 2, 0, Foxtrot, Papa, Sierra.